guys, and welcome to another video with Lille. This week I am going to do the cheap art supplies challenge. So I went out and got some cheap art supplies, and first I got a stationery set for around $2 just so that I would have some pencils and a pencil sharpener and an eraser. And this is just a really neat starter set for anyone. And then I got myself some very cheap watercolors. I think it was the cheapest one that I could find, and they were a little over $2, but they have like really a lot of colors, so I hope that they are quite okay. Then I of course got myself some coloring pencils just for probably detailing or something like that, and they are of the same brand as the watercolors. And I just lightly tried these ones out. They are very hard, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be great. And then I got myself some pencils, and they were around $3 for 3 pencils, and they are made for watercolors, so hopefully they will be great. Then I also got some watercolor pencils just as a backup. Not sure if I'm gonna use them for this video, but they were around $4, no, $4.50. And yeah, I just really want to try them out. Maybe not for this video, but now I have them. Of course, I got some paper, and it's watercolor paper, just so that I would be able to use the watercolors. And I got myself a fine liner from Faber-Castell, and it was more expensive than the rest of it, but I couldn't really find any pack with a brown fine liner, and I wanted a brown fine liner, so this was around $2. Yeah, $2. And let's just open the goodies. Okay, I should have a scissor for this. Ooh, nice sound. Okay. Oh snap. It has flowers in it. Okay. Backup plan. I am going to use some of my own watercolor paper. Okay, since this one turned out to be a painting book, which I had not noticed when I bought it, even though it's kind of cool, I am not going to use this one. I am going to use my regular multi-technique paper. Okay, away with that. And it has a pencil. I'm not gonna use this one, so I will just remove it. And we have pencils that I'm gonna use. Ah! Okay. Ooh, nice. And the pencils are, as I said, quite hard, but I'm still gonna use them, probably. The stationery set, I will just need one pencil and the eraser. Okay. Ooh, I should sharpen one. Let's test the pencil sharpener. Looks like it broke. Okay, this is what happens when you get the cheapest one you can get. I may have to bust out my own. It's literally breaking apart as I'm trying to use it. Okay, screw it. That's something you should buy more expensive ones of, apparently. So I just busted out my really old pencil sharpener, and let's see how the pencil is. I normally use a mechanical pencil, but for this I just thought I would use a regular one. And the eraser. nice. So hopefully it will be able to erase nicely as well. So I will just move this aside and get into the sketching. Hey guys, it's time for me to talk a bit about the art supplies and what I thought about them. And first fail is of course that I bought a coloring book instead of blank papers, but that's not really the paper's fault. I haven't tried out the papers yet, but I will try and use the book for practice with watercolors in the future. Second fail was that the pencil sharpener that I got literally broke as I started using it. So definitely don't buy the cheapest pencil sharpener you can find. And I can say that it's worth buying a more expensive one and a good one, because the one I had to use instead of the one I got for this challenge was one that I have had for I think at least 12 years. I don't even remember when I bought it, so it's really old. I'm not really used to using a regular pencil when I do my sketches. I use a mechanical pencil or a color pencil. So I actually had a hard time creating this sketch, but luckily the eraser was really nice and it's not really the pencil's fault, it's more my fault. The paintbrushes was really nice and they hold up the water really well. I'm definitely gonna use them in the future, and I'm sorry, I think I called them pencils earlier in this video, but that's just because pencil is really close to the name for paintbrush in Danish, so I'm sorry if I confused any of you guys, but definitely gonna use the paintbrushes in the future. Keep in mind that I'm not really a professional when it comes to using watercolors. I only just recently really started getting into watercolors, and I don't in any way would say that I'm great at using watercolors. I still have a lot to learn, so what I say here is only my opinion, but I think that a professional user of watercolors would probably agree. The watercolors itself was really hard for me to work with. They didn't really mix on the palette and they wouldn't really blend on the paper, and the colors was not as pigmented as my Winsor & Newton watercolors that I usually work with. But still, when it dried, it actually turned out quite nice, so I'm really surprised about that. They were a bit hard to work with. They felt a bit like rubber or a bit gooey. It's hard to explain, but the pink one was a really long time about drying, and I just stuck my finger in it and it was like getting gum on my finger. It was really weird. So weird texture in the paint, but still okay to work with. I was surprised. I was really expecting it to be really bad, but it was not as bad as I thought. And what I actually really liked about these watercolors was that the set came with a skin color, and my own set of Winsor & Newton watercolors don't come with a skin tone, so whenever I have to use a skin tone I have to blend it myself and mix it. And I never really get the same color when I try to mix the skin color as last time, so it's really hard if I don't mix enough in the beginning. So having a skin color was a really great plus. I didn't really use the coloring pencils because I had to press really hard to get any colors to stick on the paper. And I was afraid that the pencil would actually rip the paper, so I didn't really use them at all. I tried, but it didn't really work. I also ended up using 2 black pens, as you see here, instead of the brown fine liner, just so that the expression of the drawing was as I wanted it to be. I wasn't planning on doing this drawing in the beginning, so when I bought the brown fine liner I was planning on doing something else. The pens is from a store called Søstrene Grene, and I think they were around $2 for a pack of 3, and apparently I lost one. I had to be really careful when I did the line art because the ink tend to lump together in small areas, and whenever I would put my hand over one of these areas, if the ink wasn't dry it would stick on my hand and I would smear it over the drawing, and it actually happened to me once or twice. Just because I forgot how a pen is working when you use it for drawing, because normally when you use it for writing you don't put your hand on top of what you're writing unless you're left-handed. So I just totally forgot. I have used a pen for drawing several times, but it's a long time since I did it, so I just forgot it. I was almost done with this drawing when I realized that I had no tools for highlight, so I busted up some of my acrylic paint that I bought in a store called Bilka years ago, and I think that they were around $1.50 on sale when I bought them. My overall feeling with this drawing is kind of mixed, but considering the fact that I feel like I rushed the drawing and that I had to change my plans during the recording and I was actually planning on doing a totally different drawing, I still think that the drawing turned out quite okay, and I was surprised how well the watercolors actually worked and turned out, and I'm definitely gonna try and use the watercolors for practice in my sketchbooks in the future. Just to remember that cheap art supplies does not necessarily mean that your work will turn out bad. I just don't rarely use traditional media. I'm more of a digital artist, so I still think that this turned out great. But I'm actually almost done with this drawing, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please remember to subscribe, and I post a new video every week. And if you want to be updated even more, I have an Instagram where you can see my final result of my video. And if you want to buy any of my art, visit my Redbubble shop, all which there will be a link for down below. And until next time, take care and bye bye!